Hey guys, welcome back to the shop, and today I'm going to be building a dart cabinet. Alright, I picked up this dart board at Walmart last year for a party, and I'm going to be having another one in 4 days. So I decided, why not build a dart cabinet? I also found this stack of wood at the flea market for $5. They're roughly 1 by 4 inches, and they're about 48 inches long. So let's see what I can do with this. I think I know why it was only $5. This dartboard is a little under 18 inches, about a 1/4 inch under actually. So we're going to go ahead and make the inside of the dartboard cabinet 18 inches by 18 inches. Alright, I cut each one of these 4 boards to 19.5 inches, so it's 1.5 inches longer than the 18-inch interior, because the board is 3/4 of an inch thick. Now, I don't really understand how dovetails work exactly. I mean, I kind of do, I just don't really know how to make them. So I'm going to do something similar, but just squares. So I'm going to go cut that out on the bandsaw. It's not beautiful, but for my first attempt, I think I did pretty good. Alright, so here is a dry fit of my little angle things. I know that a square dovetail, I'm pretty sure, is not the right word for that, but I can't remember the name of the joint. I don't know if it's good or bad, but these angles are very, very tight. Really can't do it without a hammer. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the glue in. Now we'll just let that dry while we work on the door. And now I'm going to rip down another 19.5 inch long section to make 1/8 by 3/4 inch strips. Alright, now we have 19 of these 19.5 by 1/8 inch strands, and we're going to use these to make the front doors, I guess they would be, for the cabinet. But before making the door, we should probably make sure that the frame is working well. Now I found these little hinges, and I have 4 of them, and I'm going to attach them about 3 inches up. So I need to cut out a little channel for the hinge part. Alright, now I'm too lazy to run up to the garage and get the chisels, so I just took a pocket knife and carved it out, and for the effort put in, I think it'll fit pretty well. Alright, I've changed up my idea for the door just slightly. Instead of using these 3/4 by 1.5, since I cut them too short, I'm just going to use one of these strands and just go across. So I've taken a big piece of scrap and clamped it to the table so that I have kind of a stop plate. And over here I have just a few of them set up, and then I have 2 little pieces of scrap between each one, so that there will be a 1/4 inch gap. Now I've got this sheet of hardboard or whatever this stuff is, and it's been sitting in here for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and use part of it. But I need to cut it down with the handsaw to make it more manageable so that I can use it safely on the table saw by myself. This stuff is a real pain to cut through. And now to cut the panel down to the final size of 19.5 by 19.5. And now to screw in a few screws to hold the back on. It's not perfectly square, or the frame is not perfectly square, so I'm going to have to go back with a router and a straight bit to kind of, you know, clean that up a bit. The edges aren't as bad as I thought they'd be, so I'm just going to use the orbital sander to knock it down just a little bit. Alright, there's probably a better way to hold this in here than just putting a screw in each of the sides, but I think that'll do. Alright, now I'm going to put this up here, and there's going to be 5 3/4 inch on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and drill 2 holes to put some bigger screws. Now, this first one over here did poke out the top, so I went ahead and re-drilled it, and I figured why not put one in the middle. And now to pass the time until the door's dry. This isn't at the right height or the right distance. I'm standing like 3 feet away. And here I'm just going to try to clean up some of the burn marks on the inside of the doors. Alright, I didn't really measure too well. As you can see over on this side, I have about a 1/2 inch extra, and the doors are not going to be equal. The closest I can do is cut through this channel right here. So yeah, and I'm just going to use a pocket knife so that I won't have much taken out. Alright, now I know there is a saying of measure twice, cut once, but I'm not sure if there's something for gluing. As you can see, these hinges do not line up with the strip. They do butt up against the strip because I put the strip on the wrong side of the line that I drew. But I don't have any more of this wood that isn't all covered in mold, so this'll have to do. It does close almost perfectly, or exactly. There's 2 problems though. The wood in the screws don't allow it to close properly, and since the hinges don't line up with the piece of wood here, they kind of poke through quite a bit. So I'm either going to take an angle grinder to it and hope for the best, or I can just keep it open. That, you know, what people can't see, they can't judge me for. I've also taken a little block of scrap here and drilled some holes that are just big enough for the dart point or head or the pokey part. Hey guys, I hope you like the dart cabinet. There's a few things I wish I would have done differently, but I mean, it's kind of all glued together now, so oh well. Stay tuned for the next video where I make a stand for the dart cabinet that's going to be using the French cleat system.